Okay? So that's the scenario.
Bleeding.
Oh no! Mark just cut his arm with the hatchet. What are we going to do? We got a bit of a problem, so we need to figure out what we're going to do.
Well, what's the
So,
bandages?
who's going to be my ready man?
Whoever has bandages.
Okay, over here, guys, turn.
Ew, what is it?
So we can see. Come this way.
You want
Okay.
these two to come up there?
Yeah. When I
Huh?
Why don't you all just walk, why don't you all just get together? There's only 4 of you.
Okay, Mark just slashed his hand with the hatchet. What are we going to do? We got a bad problem here. Mark's shooting blood out right and left. What are we going to do, guys? We got a bit of a problem here.
Don't take your shirt off and like put it around.
Well, that
Okay.
Pressure. Put
You're
pressure on
getting
the bleeding.
that was
Okay,
like
we're
real
at
blood.
camp. Okay, 2 things are about to happen.
more blood.
One, Mark's about to pass out if he's bleeding that much. So I need one of you to help Mark go into the lay
I have
down
more
position.
blood.
One of you guys help Mark lay down. He's gonna pass out really quick. Easy now, easy. Now, okay, we're at camp. Over here on our table, we got some socks, we got a t-shirt, we got a sheet. Those are things you're gonna find at camp. Let's figure out what we're gonna do to get this bleeding under
Get the
control.
socks.
Let's do the sock first. Let's get a sock and wrap it around there.
See, I have another 2
Be careful. Be careful. Okay, we just learned something, guys. We just learned something.
Wait.
You guys got in a big hurry,
Yeah.
and you were not careful. Okay, you
Just got
guys,
blood squirt up
you guys don't have rubber gloves on. You don't have eye protection or anything else.
No, Dad.
Okay.
Keep squirting it.
No. We had done the squirting for now. We do the stock now. What we're going to do is we're going to do a guinea pig. Mike's going to be the
Oh,
guinea
like
pig who just got
cut off the
squirted.
blood?
You go get some rubber gloves on, and get ready to help. Okay.
Mike's gonna
And
use
you
it.
go call for help. Go over here and tell an adult you got a big problem, and you got to go call for help. Make sure he understands what's needed.
Okay, a guy accidentally stabs his arm with a hatchet by mistake. So
So, well, is he cut pretty bad?
yeah, he's bleeding.
Okay, Mike.
Well, do we
to
need to
put
call for
pressure
help?
on here. Put pressure on here. Make sure it's not bleeding really bad. Cole's getting tooled up.
Like what?
Okay.
Cut off the blood?
We don't want blood to be squirting out. So we got a sock on it at least.
We need
I think we're
helicopter.
gonna need something to cover
I
this
think
up.
this is
Go get the
cutting
t-shirt.
off
Let's
the
try to wrap
blood.
him in a t-shirt.
Oh.
Okay.
T-shirt!
This is,
I contacted help.
Hey, you need to calm him
called a
down.
helicopter.
You need to calm him down, tell him we're gonna fix
Everything's
it.
gonna
Wrap
be
this thing up
okay.
good. Leave this in place, because this is now soaked with blood. Just leave that in
It's
place
yellow
and
blood.
wrap the
Here's a
whole
new one.
t-shirt around there. And get it as tight as you can.
Like tie it?
Tight it as tight as you can. And wrap it up as best you can. We're gonna try and keep the blood from squirting out and stuff.
You get to ride
Okay.
on a helicopter.
Hey, you gotta be helpful. You gotta calm him down, tell him it's gonna be okay.
I'm going
You gotta
to do that!
convince him it's gonna be
a
okay.
helicopter ride is like
Okay.
my dude.
Wrap it up as best you can.
No, seriously,
Fall
I'm
out.
on a helicopter until you find.
Just, yeah, we gotta keep the blood from squirting out, okay?
Seriously.
Now, here's the other thing you can do while Cole's getting
I
this
got
thing wrapped
another
up.
cut.
That's good, that's good. Hey,
Squirt, squirt.
let me have that, let me have
Oh,
that.
those
Just, you don't have to tie it, just wrap it as best you can. Wrap it around 2 or 3 times.
Because you want to keep pressure on it.
Yeah, you gotta keep pressure on it.
Pressure.
Not squeezing.
Okay, now if we can't get it to stop, what we're gonna have to do is you either can hold it up, it will help to hold it up, like this.
So the
Yeah,
blood
because
goes
the
back.
blood will drain
Yes, the
back.
blood's not gonna go out nearly as fast if you're holding it up like this. So you can either elevate it like this, that'll keep the blood pressure from getting real high up here. If you can't get it to stop, you're gonna have to cut the blood off. You're gonna have to either
Cut the arm
squeeze
off.
up here, put a tourniquet on or something. You're gonna have to squeeze the vein up here, the artery. That kinda hurts, doesn't it? If I did this for about 20 minutes, you wouldn't like it. But if you have to, that's what you're gonna have to do. You can either take your neckerchief, nobody's got a neckerchief except mine. You may have to pull that off and tie, make a tourniquet if we have to, or literally just squeeze his arm as hard as you can to stop the blood flow.
Well, if you do that too long, won't he lose his arm?
Yeah, about 10 minutes, and you have to open it up, let him get some blood in there, and then clamp it back off again. Yeah, about 10 minutes is about all you can do with a tourniquet, and then you have to undo it, let him get some blood flow in there, and then put it back on again. The idea is you don't want him losing all of his blood. So you either have to hold this, or something, so the blood doesn't just continually come squirting out.
You remember how you had it a little while ago where you, so if you do it like this, you
could turn that
Yeah. you
and
can
get
make a little-
pressure.
an easy-
And
See,
then
just fold
easy to
it, just
undo.
fold it off. You had that one like that too.
And then if you
And
did
then
it
you
wrong-
just, you twist it just like you would a screw.
Right.
Are you
and
okay,
it
Mark?
puts more pressure.
I think Mark said enough. Let's give you some blood now.
I think Mark needs CPR now, maybe.
So you guys got to learn. If you're at a campsite, if you're at a camp, you got to use what you got. That's more than a Band-Aid's going to work. They're going to help, and it's more than a piece of gauze is going to help. You're going to need to get socks, t-shirts, blanket, whatever you have to do
Neckerchiefs.
to cover the thing up. Neckerchiefs, whatever you got handy,
keep
because you don't
pressure.
have time to go
to the store.
to the store and buy something else. You're gonna have to make do with what you got. So you're gonna need to call for help, you're gonna need to stop it, put your hand right on the spot that's bleeding, plug it up if you can, cover it up with as many things as you got to cover it up until help arrives, okay? Don't give up, make sure you can get that thing to stop, okay?
Stick your arm out.
Okay, you guys did good. He's gonna show you the tourniquet. No squirting.
Yay, what's did you score? Did you
Oh,
bang?
no.
Wait, watch it.
Watch.
He's showing you how to do a
Look,
tourniquet.
look.
Hey, that's my sock. Don't be wiping the floor with my sock.
Look, guys.
Look, see, he did a tourniquet. That's actually the real way of doing it because you can twist it
Actually,
to
probably
tighten
need
it.
to tie it right here.
And if you get it tied just right, you can twist it to tighten it
But you
and
can use
untwist
this
it
for
to make it loose.
for leverage.
This is really loose.
Yeah.
I knew you were going to say leverage. I knew it.
Leverage, yeah. All right, good job, guys. All right. Okay, we got to continue on our first aid stuff. Okay, last time we did cuts and scrapes, we did Band-Aids and stuff like that. You also have to be able to deal with burns.
Burn,
okay?
third degree, fourth
First,
degree
second,
burn.
first, second, third degree burns. Does anybody know what a first degree burn is?
Like,
It's not very bad, but like it's obnoxious.
Okay,
It's like touching this.
I'm gonna give you guys an example of first degree burn. Okay?
It'll burn, but it won't leave a mark. It won't leave.
That is a first degree burn. Sunburn is a first degree burn. Not real bad, but it is painful.
It is painful.
It's not gonna kill you, it's not gonna send you to the hospital.
Well, you could be sent to the hospital for a really
It's not,
bad
it's not a
sunburn.
first degree. If you get sent to the hospital, it's a second degree, it's a second degree sunburn. You can get a really bad sunburn, but it's second degree. And you know why they call it first, second, third degree?
Because those are
That's actually how deep the skin gets damaged. First degree is just the top layer of skin. Second degree is about
second
like
layer
halfway,
skin?
yeah, second layer halfway through the skin. And third degree is like it's all the way through the skin. That's bad. Okay.
Yeah,
So
then
first
you're on
degree
fire.
burn. The most common first degree burn is sunburn. Now basically, you don't have to do a lot for sunburn, but it's really more about don't get sunburned in the first place. So you use a hat, you use sunscreen, you keep putting sunscreen on, just don't get sunburned. It's a lot easier. If you do get sunburned, basically a cold shower, cold water will make it feel better, because cold water kind of helps. And maybe put some aloe vera or lotion, something like that. That's okay, not gonna hurt you, just make the skin feel better, okay? But this is not serious, this is not life-threatening or anything. Okay, now, second degree burns are worse.
I've lost all blood.
Okay, so you know what a second degree burn, guys give me an example of what a second degree burn is?
like, well, this time maybe like it hurts really bad. And like every time you do something with it, it hurts.
Okay, and
Touching
usually,
the burner. Like
turning the
touching
burner, when you're in the kitchen, that's where you're most likely to get a second degree burn, is when you're
Oh
cooking.
yeah, it takes like several. That's
When you're
happened to me
cooking, you
before.
pick up a pan that's not, doesn't have a handle on it, you know, or you don't use a mitten when you're getting something out of the oven or something, that's how you get a second degree burn, because usually,
They last
when you're
forever.
cooking-
It took like 6 hours.
yeah, when you're cooking, it's
3
gonna be
hours.
like 200 degrees or something usually, not always,
Water, ice.
yes.
Well, once when my mom was cooking,
Mhm.
well, she just finished making supper, and I didn't know, and so then I just went up to it and I started banging on it, but it really hurt.
You got burned?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
okay,
like-
so,
Digging something out.
the difference between first degree and second degree burn, let me show you guys a picture of second degree burn. This is a second degree burn.
Oh.
This has got blisters on it, okay? This is scalding, what they call scalding. Scalding is when you get boiling water on your skin, or
Ooh.
something is really, really hot. If you're making cookies and you reach in the oven and grab the pan out,
With your fist.
how hot do you set the oven when you cook cookies?
300.
350 or something like that?
Yeah, like you.
It's
normally
very
350.
hot. Yeah, it's very hot. So if you touch something that's that hot, or if you get boiling water spilled on your skin, you're going to get blisters. So the difference is, if it starts to blister right away and it hurts really, really bad, that's probably a second-degree burn. Now, generally, when you're in the kitchen, it's when you're most likely to have a problem. The best thing to do when you get burned in the kitchen is immediately go to the faucet and turn the cold water
Yeah, I
on.
did that.
Yes, cold water will help because you'll cool the skin down as quickly as
But
possible.
that takes forever.
And it also helps,
It gets, you only get
helps it
cold
feel
for a
better.
certain point, and then it never
Yeah.
gets colder.
well, I know, yes.
Well, it just tickled to me. Like it was annoying.
Was that real bad?
Well, it was, I mean, it hurt. It may have
Like you
been a
went like-
first degree.
Okay,
Like you're
so,
mad.
let me tell you this, if you get burned in the kitchen, let's say you're warming something up, like soup or something like that, and you grab the handle and it hurts really bad, and you burn your hand or you spill hot water on your hand, something like that, it's probably going to blister and it's going to hurt really bad. So that, you can run cold water on it, but that's about all you can do for it. There's not much you can do for it. But you do need to take care of it. You probably need to go see the doctor. If you burned your hand and it's blistered really bad, then you probably need to go see the doctor. Okay? So that's more than just a sunburn. That's, you burned some skin. So what I'm going to do is, you now have a big blister. You just spilled hot water on your hand and you got a blister. Are you right-handed or left-handed?
Right.
Do you care? Which one you want it on? Okay.
Mark's the victim again?
Yeah, they're all victims. Everybody's a victim here. You just got a big hot blister because you just spilled something really, really hot, like boiling water on your hand.
The boiling
Okay.
water went in a ring.
Now you got boiling water. So the first thing you can do is go get some cold water on it. That helps. You don't have to go get cold water. But when you do get cold water on it and kind of calm it down, you're going to need to cover this up. And a gauze pad is the best thing to put on a burn. Because
Can we
one
open
thing, that's a little too big for a Band-Aid.
But can we open it?
Yeah, you can open it. You're going to fix yourself. You got to be able to cover it up. After you wash it off, you're going to put a gauze pad on your wound so that it doesn't get worse. And you can take it.
There's nothing on it.
It was a little.
The gosh pad is in there.
Mike is around. He's stalking.
Oh, wait, it's in the zipper bag.
Use.
Yeah,
If I
okay.
got a really big bone.
This is how you read
That's a big
the
piece of tape, okay? I mean, big piece of gauze. Almost, not quite. Okay, so help them get some tape started.
I'm trying.
And what you're gonna do is put the gauze pad on there and run some tape over the gauze pad to keep it in place.
What's
Now-
the gauze pad do? Keep away blood?
Well, it keeps dirt and stuff off of the wound, and it also lets it breathe, because gauze is breathable. You want it to get some air, because that will help the burn heal better, actually.
Here, help.
The difference is,
Hold this.
you don't want to put a Band-Aid that's completely sealed, because it won't be able to breathe. And let's see if we can get another one from here for it. Now, I'm helping you guys, because I know you guys only got one hand right now,
Need some help?
so I'm helping you guys get the tape started. And this is the kind of tape that you can tear, but the tape you have at home, you might have to use scissors on. So you need to be able to use scissors as well. So what you're going to do is tape that up, and that'll hold your gauze in place, and that will keep it protected until you can go to see the doctor or whatever.
Let's see, Mark.
If you get a big blister on there, that's why I did a circle, because the circle says you had a big blister, it's already starting to blister.
I don't have a blister. It's just red
Right
marker.
now. Pretend. Okay, the gauze will help
Well, it
cover it
turned
and
into
protect
a
it.
red marker. The
You don't want to try and pop the blister too early, because
I'll
it might
burn
actually get
it.
infected. Yeah. Now, maybe after a day or two, you may need to drain it, but go see the doctor.
Did you
and ask
get
them
your
what to do.
gauze on there?
Yeah, you may need a little help. I know I kind of tricked you guys by having you guys have just one
It's like a
hand
boxing.
that works.
Okay.
But
Can you get
generally,
the other
second
piece
degree
around there?
burn, you don't want to put, you don't need to put lotion or other stuff on it, or antibiotic cream or anything like that. Wash it with cold water, maybe a little soap if it's dirty, if you're out in the woods and you stick your hand in the fire and burn it or something. Wash it, put some gauze on it.
Third degree.
Yes.
Okay, So I had like a blister on my lip and somehow it popped or something. And so is that possible, like with your hand? Could
You can
if
get-
you're out in the woods, could you just like grab a stick? and
Well,
pop
it's not
it?
the best idea because you might get infected. If you stick a stick in there, whatever's on the stick is going to get in
Especially if you're
there.
out in the woods.
Yeah, that's probably not the best
Pick up a
idea.
random
No,
stick
but
right
like
next to the
what-
dead animal.
What you would do, if you needed to pop it, if you really need to pop it, and your mom and
Use your-
dad said it's okay, what you would do is get your little clean area here, get your alcohol pad, you'd wipe the whole thing with alcohol, and get a clean needle and wipe the needle with alcohol, and then you just barely stick the needle in there and drain it. Okay? That's
Oh,
how we-
because of all the stuff
That's the way you
inside.
drain the water out of it. So you have a big blister that's swollen up, you can use a needle, just barely stick the needle in, it hurts a little bit, barely stick the needle in and you can drain the blister. But you want to use alcohol first and clean the needle first, so you don't get germs inside the blister. Okay? Because that's kind of open to do that. Yes.
Okay. In SpongeBob, that's kind of like what happened when he poked the needle in his blister. Like I think they overreacted, but like a bunch of green stuff just came flying out of his stuff.
Okay, I think we're ready now. So remember, first degree, we're ready. First degree burn, you pretty much don't
Third
have to do
degree.
anything. Second degree burn.
Oh, there goes the
You
good.
wash it, you wash it up good, you don't put anything on it, and you cover it up with gauze and tape, okay?
Oh my goodness, God, you better
What?
help! Oh my goodness,
What
are you
happened?
okay?
What happened?
He burned his hand!
Come here, let's see what happens. Come here, let's go find out what
Help
happened.
us!
Oh, come here.
Guys, I don't know what to do. Can you help us?
Let's help.
Help! Oh my goodness, look at his arm!
Uh-oh, that looks like,
It's a marker degree
what kind of burn? What kind of burn is that?
A marker.
That looks like third degree burn. A third
A
degree
marker
burn.
degree burn.
Okay, what do you do third degree burn?
You leave them be.
We don't put anything on there.
You
The
leave
only
them
thing you
be.
do is you wrap them in a
And leave them
clean
be.
bandage or a sheet, and then you treat for shock.
What about
Because
like
it looks
a
like,
t-shirt?
You leave them be.
it looks like he's passed out from shock, too.
All you do
Okay,
is leave
go
them.
get a
Guys,
sheet,
here's a
guys. Go
clean
get a sheet.
sheet.
Wrap him up. Wrap him up in the sheet. Cover him up.
Just
Cover his
leave him
arm
be.
up.
Wait, just his arm?
His
Well, you can
arm.
put it over all of him if you want. Make sure his arm
Like a
is covered
corpse.
with the sheet,
Just cover him like a corpse.
because you don't want
He's
anything. Don't try to do
Guys.
anything on the arm. Ow, ow, ow.
Guys, no.
Cover him up.
His feet.
No.
Cover his whole body.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's corpse.
Just cover him. No, he's not. He's in shock. He's in shock, guys. You got to cover him with the sheet because this is raw flesh. There's no skin left.
Oh,
Okay? You don't want to put water on it. You don't want to put medicine. You don't want to do anything. You just want to cover it up to keep the dirt off of here.
Where's the trash?
Now, he's in shock because if you're in third degree burn, you're probably going to be in shock. So it means you got to lay him down, put his feet up a little bit, lift his feet up like this, so he get a little bit more blood in his head, and then you have to call the paramedics. There's really nothing else you can do except cover him up and make sure his arm doesn't get any worse. Yes.
Is it possible to get a third degree burn on your tongue?
Yeah, you should.
I think I've done it.
You can tell me how later. I don't know, but I want to know.
I want to know.
You guys got to know this. You got to, if you're out camping and somebody falls in the fire and their pants catch on fire
Then
and
they'll
they
be
burn their leg
scorched
really
alive.
bad, you don't even try to do anything. You don't try to take their clothes off or anything. You just basically
Leave them be.
cover them in a clean sheet or a towel or anything to protect them. If it's cold outside, put a blanket on them and you wait for the paramedics